my gosh.
I think that's what we got to rename you as, the chocolate CBD slinging mama.
Yeah, well, Bruce is calling me Canna Granny on a regular basis.
Classic. All right, Ani, you can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Very cool. All right, well, Billy's not going to be on today. I think Jeff was going to make it, but he was at my house here last night and we forgot to talk about it. So why don't we dive in? Ani, you were on first. You want to give us a catch up? What are your wins? And also we can talk about, challenges, but let's start with wins.
Okay. So my newest win is I have a private office. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm not there yet. I'll be heading there today. It's about 10 minutes from where I live. So that's cool, getting that set up. And a couple new ones too. I actually joined, I was having some, we'll talk about that later, but I joined a couple of teams. So as a design consultant, with, so Maricol is, I don't know if you can see that. They're, a home remodeling, company. And so I'm a contractor. I do design consulting. So, which is nice. So I'm not an employee. I come and go, and they basically just hand me leads and I just go and make a commission. And they give the highest commission rate in the country, and their average is about $250,000 per project, $250,000 per project, and commissions are about 14% of that. So
hold on. So 200. When you said 250, you mean 250,000 or 200?
Yeah.
Okay.
250,000.
Okay, per project, and you what percent of that?
14%
of the 250. Oh, that's fantastic.
And they do all their marketing. They've been in business for over 30 years. And to me, it seemed like a win-win. They just hand me leads and I just do the design consulting. I stay at my, kind of like what I love. And they have a whole team of contractors and drafters and people that actually make it happen. So just kind of plugging into that system.
So let me ask this. The client then is who? Who's the client? Is it a business owner, a homeowner, like who are you going to houses for remodel?
Yeah. It's all residential. Exactly.
Okay. All residential. All right. So I definitely want to chat with you. Are they doing anything with solar?
I don't know. That's a good question. Could definitely. Yeah.
Let's make that connection.
Okay.
Where are they based out of?
Here in San Diego. So their office is in off of Kearny Mesa. So it's by the design district out here, the Miramar Design District.
All right. So let's you and I talk about that.
Okay.
Because we could actually, how big of a company are they?
They have 35 employees.
Okay.
And about 10 design consultants.
All right. So I'd like to meet with the owner of that here at the house. And just have a business strategy session about their business and how we can bring solar into that business.
Okay.
We can add, they can add another, just probably $2,000 per house. So.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Obviously help the clients go green and save money. It's a way to offset the cost of the, of the redesign. Cool. All right. So you got that going. That's good. So that's your marketing strategy there is this a joint venture strategy.
Yeah.
That's going to net you. How much income is that going to bring you projected this year? I have about a month of training. So I'm learning that. So once I'm up and running, it's the average design consultant makes about 200 to 300,000, and some of them they're selling already like 6 million per year. So then obviously it depends. It could go to 800,000. So it just ranges. But since I'm just starting, it's going to start a little bit slower because of the training. So this could become a major leg for you. All right. Will this take over your business? Are you going to become?
No.
No, I'm still gonna, the next win would be marketing, doing workshops. So doing, still going into that teaching leg of teaching interior design. So next week at Outside, one of my projects that I did in Encinitas, they're like a retreat and co-working space. They have projects all over. I'm going to be doing a workshop there. And so that's going to be the intro to getting the teaching mentorship program that's going to go on online. So doing it in person first and getting some feedback and getting students that way. And then, so it's not going to take over. I'm still going to do the online.
So really it's active and passive. You're setting up your active income stream at the 200 to 300,000 range is the goal with this company.
Mm-hmm.
And build your personal brand and your online course as your second leg of your business / passive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You and Dave Sarno and I should definitely talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you can create the content. We'll help you from the media side.
Mm-hmm.
And all the management of the funnel, the ads, the growing of it. So we're doing some pretty cool stuff there.
Okay. And then the third win is, and thank you, definitely. I absolutely love that. The third win is I got a new ground up development project. So that one is, there's a house in the front and in the back. We're building a new construction. So I'm working with an architect on that, and it's going to be rental units, 2 units, one above another, and that one is in Vista. So that. Mm-hmm.
And what would that end up netting you? How much time and how much time would it take? How much money would that net you?
We're still finalizing all the numbers. So it's based on just my part, probably about 5,000, and I'll probably end up doing about 20% of the work. The architect's probably going to take, I'm handing him the project. So we're working on it together, but he's going to be doing the structure and that, and I'm going to be doing on the interior architecture and the materials. So based on time, probably something like 20 to 25 hours, something like that.
Yeah. So the reason I'm asking is I want to start to look
clarity.
At what's your highest income generating activity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great that you're taking these cash things in, because I know you need to get to the place where you can do the 200 to 300K with the design, marketing company. But at some point you just need to be clear. Like, when I'm doing this, I'm making $100 an hour. When I'm doing this, I'm making $1,000 an hour, and I'm in my strengths, which is what you're trying to say before. I only have to do what I love, none of what I hate or tolerate. So I'm in my strengths. I'm making the highest income in this box. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that reminds me of something. All right. Any other wins, by the way? Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of changes. And I'm also doing consulting with another company that they do more. It's similar. They hand me leads, and I go out and design more organizational spaces. So I design custom anything that has to do with cabinetry or interior finishes with panels. So anything from custom closets, like really beautiful closets. I just sold a $9,000 closet last week. And today I'm going to design the storage, like garage, and then could be custom offices as well. So that's another company. They specialize in kind of custom cabinetry work. So it's that one's meant to be very part-time as well. Not as much time as the remodeling company, because that I just design on site really quickly. I draft on site and I submit them the quote. And again, that company does all the marketing, all the operations, handles all the business. And then I get the commission from sales.
Okay. So again, another JV. So part of your strategy is joint venturing with people who are doing the marketing and then you're doing your specialty. I like that model a lot for you. You're not having to mess with the things that are actually hard to figure out and
Mm-hmm.
require a lot of, resource. The risk side of it is that, the economy is good. There's a lot of that stuff happening now. When the economy changes, you need to be in position to not get caught upside down,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I think building your personal brand, on a Eufy
Mm-hmm.
as design expert and your courses is always going to put you in demand,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you build, your personal brand properly and the content media of what you do. Then these companies that want to JV with you, they're bringing in a celebrity
Mm-hmm.
to do these deals,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's value in that too. So
Mm-hmm.
I like where you're headed a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems good. Inspiring, not expiring. To use your words.
Yep. All right. Very cool. And then we'll come back in any challenges you're having or what you want to focus on in the business. Do you have a topic already or just wins?
I think just wins for now. We can talk about challenges in a second.
All right. Donna, you want to hit us with wins?
We've had kind of a wild couple weeks since we last talked. I'm sure you probably know I sent a bunch of product out to Jeff and his wife for the Natural Foods Expo, which hosted the first CBD product summit in conjunction with the Natural Foods Expo, and him asking for product kind of spurred all kinds of activity and ideas and sort of collaborations with a couple of other little crafters in the area. So we sent everything from wasabi habanero chocolate sauce with CBD in it to the candy that we've been making to skincare products and truffles, and it was very interesting. CBD candles that microdose in the air that are just fabulous.
Amazing.
They smell so good and they're so relaxing. It's just kind of amazing. But on the traditional food side, we have partnered with Rosewood Ranch, which is owned by the Hunts, which is they're like the wealthiest family in the state. And they have a Wagyu ranch farm. And today we're actually making Wagyu jam.
What is that?
A Wagyu is like a Kobe beef, but it's the American version of a Kobe cow. So their steaks are, it's kind of ridiculous. Their steaks are like $120 to $400 a piece.
Jeez.
And so the jelly that we'll be making for them will be a 7 or 9 ounce jar that will sell for like $80 to $100.
Okay.
That's just, if I asked for unusual challenges, like in my daily prayers or whatever, it's like, how much weirder could it get than to do Wagyu jam? It's kind of.
How do you spell that? WAGYU. Okay.
And it's basically considered the rarest, most exquisite steak that you can get. And so what they're providing us with is all of the it looks like bacon. It's basically like beef bacon instead of pork bacon. And so we're making bacon jam out of beef, which is something that we already do. So I think I'm kind of a nervous wreck because they sent over like $500 of, like a big 20-pound thing. That's like $500 of Wagyu beef fat.
Okay, so this is still hitting me, and I'm gonna echo the same thing for both of you. The shit that's happening right now with you needs to be filmed. This needs to be packaged properly because you got your own Instagram and Facebook reality show going. It doesn't have to be shot like a reality show, but this conversation where you open up a package and it gets filmed and you're like, oh my gosh, this is Wagyu. This is, owned by the Hunts family, one of the wealthiest in Texas. These steaks are 120 to 400 bucks a piece. And we're now going to be creating a jelly that's going to be $80 to $100 a piece for 79 ounces. Okay, I'm a little freaked out, but I'm excited. Like, that's media that needs to go on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And all of these things need to be filmed. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, that's the...
I know, it's just so crazy. It's just so crazy. It's like even when I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to make jam out of $400, $500 sides of beef. It's just kind of crazy. So the second thing is that Kitchen Ambush, which is a television show, an online television culinary show that travels around the country to all of the competitive cooking competitions, is coming to town tomorrow. So they're going to film what we're doing. And so that kind of, they'll give us some extra footage, but we're going to film at the Hunt meat shop. They have a butcher shop right down the street from our shop. And so we have multiple opportunities for filming to take place. And then Rosewood Ranch is going to be one of the sponsors for the World Food Championships. And so I make money off of bringing them in as a sponsor. And then our last win was that we got everything into the Fairmont Hotel in Austin, which is like the newest 5-star hotel in the state. And they sold out of everything that we sent them in the first 7 days they were open. And it's just sort of been crazy. So now we have to like hurry up and, refill because they gave us a glass shelf in the middle of their spa with all of our stuff on this like beautiful glass display. It's just kind of unbelievable to me that we have jelly in the middle of this fancy hotel, jelly and spices in the middle of this fancy hotel. And it's like, I called the front desk to find out where it was because somebody called me and said, where can I go to get it in the hotel? And when I called the front desk, I said, I'm calling to find out where I go in the hotel to find the Jelly Queens. And the guy went, oh, it's in the spa. And I was like, you don't even have to ask somebody where it is. He goes, oh, no, ma'am, it's in the spa. And I was like, oh my gosh, the front desk actually knows where the jelly is. So I thought that made me feel really good. So that was kind of fun.
Well, so my marketing mind again is going with this. And again, that's a media opportunity you can kind of stage this, but two things. One is it would be really cool to just have somebody say, I'm here for the Jelly Queen stuff. Where is it? And you're filming at the Fairmont and you go in, it's, oh my God, it's in the spot and it's you or somebody like that. Right. You're like, this is crazy. They put it right here because you're branding you and the Fairmont and the Jelly Queens, and it's a high-end place. It establishes your brand. The other thing that might be just kind of fun is to have, maybe once or twice a week or something like that, have somebody call up the Fairmont Hotel and go, my friends told me that I need to come here to buy this Jelly Queens stuff. Where do I go to get it? Or something, change it up a little bit. But if the word gets around the Fairmont that people are calling and coming into the hotel to buy that, I wonder if that would benefit, you just like, oh my God, it's crazy. People are actually coming here to get the jellies. Or
so I've given them a few exclusive products that nobody can get any place but there. And so that's kind of, I posted it on Facebook and Instagram, and I got calls right away saying, well, I want some, where can I find it? So.
Yeah, well, those people ought to be going in and taking a shot at the Fairmont of grabbing the jelly, because that's good advertising for the Fairmont too.
So that's kind of, I think that's all for right now. It's been a little wild in our little kitchen. So,
all right, so update me on the daily CBD, that big deal that you had, and what's going on there. You had a big.
So the orders have continued to come in. We're just finishing up. We'll finish up this week our 14th order in like 6 days. Our client is, if I have a challenge, our client is so hyper. It's like I'm like, you need to take some CBD, dude. It's like you're just a little too hyper. And it's like I have a rule in the kitchen that when we're cooking, we're no one is allowed to be on the phone. And he like calls all day long and he asks these crazy questions, and I find, it is particularly funny. I'm 63 years old. I'm like, dude, calm down, and everybody in the kitchen just kind of cracks up because that's not how I normally talk. So he's very, very hyper, and I think I suck at customer service, so I'm really trying to like ho'oponopono and meditate and pray when I see his phone number on the phone so that I don't get stressed out, because he is like a high maintenance woman. It's just the craziest thing I've ever experienced. So that's my big challenge.
Well, is any of the stuff that he's asking have to be done by you, or can somebody else do it?
I'm sorry, my phone rang. What did you ask?
Was it him?
Yeah, it's like, this is like the 5th time he's called me since 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, no shit. Well, I think you need to set some boundaries with him first off and just say, all right, listen, I want to continue to support you and this and that. But we need to cut these calls down. So, you got to set some boundaries. Can he call once a day, once a week?
Yeah. I was like, can you just email me your question and I'll get to it when I can, but I can't make this much, stuff and have you bugging me, every 30 minutes. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing about it is I also hate taking the time to call somebody back. It's like, oh, might as well answer it and get it over and done with. But he's very hyper, and nothing bothers me. So it's just kind of funny. Everybody's laughing. It's like, we've never seen you stressed out before. I'm like, if he asked me one more question about something that he doesn't have to worry about, because I have now said to him several times this week, you just need to relax and trust me. I mean, it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. We're fine. I don't need for you to tell me how to pack a jelly box, which is our conversation this morning was about the proper way to pack a jelly box. So.
Okay. So how can we support you with managing this relationship?
I am in the process of learning how to set boundaries and get tougher. And so I have, as problems have come up with him over the past 8 days, it's like, oh God, this is a really good opportunity for me to get strict. And so that's what I'm working on. I'm doing it. Just hearing you say it is probably just as good as anything, because, it's what I need to do is to be as strict as possible so he doesn't drive all of us crazy. So
yeah, just have clear enforceable boundaries, and you know how to educate somebody on boundaries, right?
Yeah, you can go over it if you'd like.
Sure. So I typically start with, hey, listen, I really value our relationship and our business arrangement. So you let them know that there's value in this. I'm also noticing that, there's a lot of questions that you have, and I want to make sure that you have your questions answered and that you trust our relationship is going to continue to be healthy. So you're framing what you want, and then you're sharing with them. And in order for me to do that, I'm working on something called boundaries with you, my clients, my relationships, everything. And what a boundary is an agreement that we're not going to cross over that line. For example, I have a boundary now around, someone calling me 5 times a day. And so, I'm going to ask that you respect that boundary, because I'm working on delivering the products and building the business. And that's what I need to be doing. If you're not getting your questions, or if you have, I wouldn't say you're not getting, if you have questions, then here's the fastest way for me to be able to get your questions and respond by email or text. But I won't be returning phone calls anymore throughout the day. I'll do one a day. You know what? I have voicemails, and I do this, Donna. I have voicemails that people will leave me, and they'll call me when they first start a relationship. They'll call and leave 1 or 2 or 3 voicemails in a day or 2 or 3. I wait to the end of the week to return voicemails. And then I'd let them know I check my voicemails once a week. So if you want to get to me, then a text typically gets answered the same day, an email within a couple of days, voicemails within a week. And I could turn around and answer those calls, but I'm training people how to treat me. And that's what you need to do with this gentleman, is let him know those things go to voicemail. And those voicemails are picked up at the end of the day, and they're responded to within a day. If anything is urgent, and you got to share with them what's urgent to you, is an order went missing and you're in the middle of a food show and you don't have a product. That's pretty important. All right.
Yeah.
911. Somebody just ate something and they're having an anaphylactic response. That's pretty urgent. Somebody's life or death. So you rank for them what's urgent and acceptable to reach out to you by text. Okay. And I have to remind my team sometimes, like, just to put this in perspective, is this a 911? Do you need to be calling 911 right now? That's life or death. Everything else is below that. It's not life or death.
Okay. So I can do it. I'm just learning. Most of my clients are so easy to deal with, but he's put a lot of money into this candy, and I think he's just, kind of worried about it. So
you can have fun with that. I mean, you're playing part psychologist / coach. I get that. And you can even make note of that, or make it funny and say, listen, I got friends who are in the financial business, stock business. Their phone never rings until the market crashes. And then they spend all day playing therapist. I get it. You put money into this. How can I help you feel better?
Yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Yeah. So that's the reality. You're babysitting.
I am babysitting. That's for sure. Okay, that's enough.
All right. Ani, what do you need help with?
I think what you touched upon it earlier is kind of like just being really aware and strategic around how much time I'm putting where. So Maricol, they're the remodeling company. They're I've met with, they're a pretty big team, and they've already framed it that they do expect me to be around, even though it's commission based and I'm a contractor. They have an expectation of me to be there, kind of like business hours, to be available and I understand, to jump in on meetings if they need to. So they and I have shared, like, on Fridays I'm doing training with this the other more organizational company. I'm still training to do the custom work. So just having I think it's very similar to piggyback on boundaries, but also to show that I'm committed to Maricol, to learning, but at the same time, it's still not creating income yet. So I have to be very balanced in kind of where I'm putting time. That is, like, the smaller projects are immediately selling because they're just smaller versus, really big remodel. That's the analogy is kind of like a realtor. You have to show a bunch of homes before you sell a home. So it's similar, because it's a high ticket thing. It's just going to take more clients to see, and more training, and a lot more architecture training too, learning how just cost sheets, learning how to price out structural items. And then that's a new language that I'm having to brush up on and even learn. I studied it, it was 8 years ago back in architecture school, but there's still there's a learning curve in that.
So yeah, they probably are aware of that. So there is a difference between a boundary and expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you are doing and they're doing is establishing expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Once those are agreed upon, then a boundary is an invisible barrier that's not okay for somebody to cross. It could be a physical boundary, like somebody touching.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a verbal boundary by something somebody says, or it could be, an encroachment, or just a pain in the ass boundary like Donna's dealing with, somebody emotionally spinning out because they're watching all their eggs in one basket kind of thing. With this, I don't know if I'd start off with a boundary piece, but just establishing realistic expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, all right, it's fine. You guys want me to come through the training. You are asking me as a 1099
mm-hmm.
to be available. And of course, as a business owner, I can respect that. I also am going to focus on where the highest income generating activities are.
Mm-hmm.
And I would let them know that up front. And while I believe in training, I think it's imperative to success. What's really imperative is when I'm face to face with clients, yours or mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you establish that, they're gonna respect you as a business owner. What's closest to the cash is face to face client sales opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's interesting for a company that's a 1099 to tell you they expect you to be there during 9 to 5. I've seen that in Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has a similar model, but they actually have people not as a 1099. They have 100% commissioned salespeople that are like in their mortgage department, and they're W-2s, and they expect them to be in an office, but they're 100% commission. And I'm like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. That they treat you like an employee, they tax you like an employee, but they compensate you like an independent.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with Miracle, is it Miracle? How do you spell that?
Yeah. Miracle. Marokal.
I would have never guessed that. Okay. So with Miracle, how far down the road are you with them and their expectations of your being able to own your time?
It's been, I think 2 weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks. So I've already established that I do have, other commitments with, there's a director of design who's kind of like my, the person that helps me with, setting appointments or he's like the head design consultant. He's been there for the longest. And so I guess he would be like the supervisor person who's helping me through the process. But then there's the 2 owners, and they're hardly ever around in the office, but they're the ones that are kind of creating this, creating the expectation. Like, we want you to be here as much as possible. And so that's where the office that I have is through that office. And so I can work on, whatever.
Donna, can you hear her or no?
I can't hear her at all.
Okay.
And she stopped moving.
Oh, now you're back. Ani, you went digital. We didn't hear any of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's been about a couple weeks now with that company. And that's where I have an office is through that company. And so there's like a grace period, and in June is when it kicks in where, because they own the building. And so like all the design consultants have their own personal offices. But then after there's a few month grace period, and then after that's over, then we have to start paying monthly for use of the office.
What's your monthly on that?
300.
Oh, all right. It's not bad.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty average.
So that's pretty smart. That's their way to keep you close,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then to subsidize the cost of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then they feed you leads so they can see whether you're in or out of the office doing appointments, this, that.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting model.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So where else do you need support? It sounds like you're starting to crank there. You've got to bridge cash flow between now and then. Are you okay on cash?
Yeah, it's going well. Like I just with I sold that $9,000 closet, and then working on this new proposal, that remodel or the ground up. So that should help me for the next couple months, 2-3 months. So that's we're finding that.
Just cut out again, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah,
I don't know
just
why it's
keeps
breaking.
freezing. It's freezing on your side. Just looks like.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you said you got cash for the next couple months because you sold that one project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next thing would be next week would be the workshop, and there is where I'm going to open up the new course, the design course. So that's going to be my prototype.
Oh, cool. I'd love to take a look at the course. Shoot it over
Mm-hmm.
when you get a chance. I'll check it out.
Okay.
So very cool. All right. Well, is there anything else before we wrap? It seems like Jeff's not here, so and neither is Biljana. So if we don't have anything else, we can cut it early. No?
Not for me, I don't think.
Good to go.
I do want to let you know I am headed to Florida for 4 days with my Feng Shui Grandmaster. And I will come back armed with very, very amazing information.
I'm looking forward to it. We're following all the stuff that you gave us. We went out that day during those peak times and did all the 2018 Feng Shui for the house. So everything is set up and rocking and rolling. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
It's kind of amazing how just these things that we're doing just seem to be working really well for everybody. So I'm pretty excited about all this this spiritually based stuff that we're working on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then Ani, you had sent over your design ideas for upstairs. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need to. I think there's some floor plans that I need to get from either just from the upstairs, either take measurements or get new floor plans from the space.
I have the floor plans here at the house.
Okay.
And we've kind of been using the space a lot more upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Energy.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, I think, enough use of it now. We know how we need it to be able to change function and form.
Okay, perfect.
So, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I'm enjoying it more now because we've had more guests and done a mastermind, and I've got a team here that we're using it for filming and stuff like that. So it seems like it's getting more use. So it's not just dead space anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, rock and roll. Congrats on the wins. And, you guys always have access to me during the week if you need something through Voxer or through the app, through the Ultimate Life app. All right.
Okay. Sounds good. Y'all have a good week.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.